Good morning, Sasha. It's Friday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. And also, it's Strengths Friday. So, today we're going to talk about number 15, restorative. But just a reminder that there's a very good chance that the ones that we're going to start talking about now, they are auxiliary talents. Again, think of them as tools in a tool belt. You can use them. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, as opposed to a signature strength, which is something that you really can't stop doing. It's really hard for you, and sometime maybe we can coach you through a little bit of it, and we think about the 5 E's. So it's easy, you get excellent results, it's energizing, you do it in every environment, and I forget the fifth one. So anyway, just something to think about. Is it something that I really do all the time? If it is, then maybe it's a signature talent, something I'm really good at. I get excellent results. People always, it's effortless. It's just it's intuitive. It just happens naturally. Or are we moving into the category of things where I can do them, but maybe I'm not excited. Sometimes even some people say, I don't really use this one. So anyway, so today is restorative. It's an executing theme. People exceptionally talented and restorative are adept at dealing with problems. They're good at figuring out what is wrong and resolving it. People with strong restorative talents love to solve problems. While some are dismayed when encountering another breakdown, those with strong restorative talents are energized by it. So sometimes this shows up in restoring things which people think can't be restored or are beyond saving. Sometimes it could be people. You may take on a project of trying to help someone who really has kind of been written off by people. Sometimes you'll see it, people that like to restore cars, right? Think of it. I think that's a great analogy. Something that's really was great, now it's not so great anymore, and they can restore it back to its prime. Um, so those with restorative enjoy the challenge of analyzing symptoms, diagnosing what is wrong, and finding the solution. They like bringing things back to life by fixing them or rekindling their vitality. So power and edge. This is kind of when someone is in a group, sort of what they bring to the group with restorative. Those with restorative talent bring a solution-oriented mindset, courage, and creativity to teams, helping them to face daily problems. They can be encouraged. They can encourage teams to readily take on projects others believe can't be saved. I was just talking about that, and turn dysfunction into function. So they're very much problem solvers. Now, I don't have this one super high. So, for me, I do like to solve problems, but I think it comes from a different place. I like to solve significant problems, or I like to solve problems with people, or I like to solve problems to deal somehow with leadership or something else that I'm at. So restorative is not super high for me, but it may be higher for you. Some intrinsic needs. So these are some things, again, sometimes the intrinsic needs and blind spots can actually help you determine whether or not I actually have this talent as a signature talent. So if you feel like when I read off the intrinsic needs that I don't really need that, then again, that could be an example of where this is perhaps not a very strong strength. It could be an auxiliary talent, and then potential blind spots. Sometimes you just don't have those, and that can be because you actually don't have this talent, or you don't have a lot of this talent. So intrinsic needs, problems to solve and the freedom to solve them. So someone who has high restorative is going to get bored if they don't have a problem to solve. And so you've heard the adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've actually heard people say with high restorative, I'm going to fix it until it's broken. And I'm just going to fix it, and restore it. So second intrinsic need, to be asked what needs attention and what could be improved. So sometimes they just need some encouragement to say, hey, what are you seeing? And also to be the number 3, to be encouraged and affirmed for your contribution. And this we see in several of the strengths where people like to be affirmed. And this is one where acknowledging someone for, hey, I appreciate the fact that you're always willing to jump in. You're always willing to solve a problem when we have one, can actually be very encouraging to someone with this strength. So a couple of the potential blind spots. Number 1, others might think that all you see are their flaws and shortcomings. Remember that there are times when people need you to see their successes and give them praise. And so sometimes I know with very low positivity that I have, it is sometimes difficult to not see a bunch of problems and to not look at things. Well, here are all the things you need to fix, especially if it's sort of paired with individualization or something like that, where you really see people, in terms of and developer, where you see people in terms of kind of projects like this is someone I can help. The second potential blind spot is you tend to focus on processes, not people, and you might automatically rush to solve every problem. Sometimes others need to solve their own problems, so they try to give people space to experiment and find their own solutions. So again, sometimes people say, "No, I don't focus on processes. I do focus on people." And again, it may be that this is an auxiliary talent. So maybe you can think about where are situations where you are excited to solve a problem, where when problems come up you're like, yes, let's think about this creatively and let's do it. And there may be other times when you see a problem and you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't handle this. Like, this is not another one. And so it just kind of depends on where this is at and whether or not you feel like this is really a signature talent of yours. Not for me to say, for you to decide, to think about it. And, if you ever want to get some more coaching on it, love to talk to you about it a little bit more. So, anyway, have a great weekend. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.